Hello everybody and welcome to Fruits Basket Season 2 episode, I think we're on 16. I'm going to say 16 anime review. First thing I'm going to do is apologise for this being a day late. It happens sometimes, I try my best to get it out on time, but sometimes this happens. Second thing, the posters are gone. We're in the process of reorganising things, so the posters have gone for right now. Don't know when they'll be back or, what we're doing with that. But hey, that's that. But anyway, on to this episode. It was a pretty good episode. It was a good episode. I really liked it. It had the feels. It had Tohru doing stuff. It was a good episode. I know it was very vague how I described it, but it was good. The Momiji stuff with his sister, that hit you. That hit everybody right in the heart. And then the Kureno stuff was also pretty good. And the Kyo stuff at the very end, that was alright as well. It was a good episode all around, I thought. Although I can't think of a single bad episode. I don't think they've had a flat-out bad episode, so that's pretty good. But anyway, let's get on with the episode, see how everything went down and everything. Let's do this thing. So the episode begins with Momiji being stalked by some little girl. At first I was very confused because I didn't remember who she was. But it makes more sense in a minute. It's because he has to get a new violin teacher, and I'm like, this is weird. Why is this stuff happening? We'll get to that in a minute. Then we go to Tohru. She's too scared to go in the Soma estate. Why is she there though? That's the real question. It's because of Uo, basically. She got a different job because basically she kept looking at the door in the convenience store when it opened, hoping it was Kureno, and it wasn't. She got tired of doing that, which doesn't sound super healthy and very. You wouldn't get a lot of work done if you kept whipping your head back to look at the door. So, surprised she didn't get fired. No, I'm not. But yeah, Tohru finds out or figures out that the Kureno is Kureno Soma. Uo, though, is not convinced. She's like, no, it's not. Must be a different person and everything. Whether she actually thought it's a different person or if it was the old, don't do this, don't give me hope kind of thing. But who knows is the real, who's to say? Tohru, though, asks Kyo later on about him. Doesn't get much out of him other than he doesn't really talk to us and be careful is sort of what he gets out of Kyo. What she gets out of Kyo, sorry. So then she goes to the estate where she's just run away, but then she's back and forthing. She's like, I have to do this for Uo, but then she's like, but I'm too scared. But then she decides to go back. Here's a violin. Oh, a violin, that's very nice. Runs straight into this little girl, knocks her clean over, could have given her many concussions, but no, she's fine. This girl is the one from the beginning. Her name is Momo. Momo is Momiji's little sister, who of course doesn't remember him because of the old brain wipage that happened on the family back in the day. So yeah, Momo takes Tohru to the secret entrance, which is just a hole in the wall. You'd think the Soma estate would have figured that out. But yeah, hole in the wall. Oh no! She was talking to Tohru this whole time. She thinks Momiji looks like her mum and everything, even though the mum doesn't. The papa said that she's not allowed to see him anymore because we get more on it later. But basically, the dad is just he doesn't necessarily hate Momiji, but he doesn't want him to ruin, the happiness he's got with the family. He doesn't want Momiji a part of it because he can't be a part of it, and it's really sad for Momiji. But what do you do in that situation? No, I don't think it's got a right answer, me. But yeah, then she says, ask Momiji if he'll be my big brother, and it's just like, and then this whole section, it's just like, they're coming back, my tears. No, stop it, tears. Don't need you right now. But yeah, that part, just my heart. It was breaking on three sides, for Tohru, for Momo, and for Momiji. Poor everyone, She then leaves. Tohru goes into Momiji's house all sad, very sad. And he's got to stop doing his violin lessons because Momo started doing violin lessons with the same teacher. But the whole reason she started doing violin lessons is because she wants to do violin with him. So he's got to stop because she's doing it, but she wants to do it with him. But of course he's got to stop, so he won't be able to do it with her. Oh God. This got layers of sadness and grief and all those other things. Yeah, it's oh. Then she tells him that Momo was always watching and wanting to talk to him and wanting him to be her brother and everything and that. And then there's more tears, and then he says his dream is to be a violinist and play for his family one day and everything. And more tears. There was definitely some tears involved here. But yeah, then this whole situation has hardened Tohru's resolve to go see Kureno, basically. So that is a thing that happened and everything, because he's all like, why are you here really? And she's like, I have to see Kureno. So yeah, that's what we do in the second half. This first half was just all about Momiji and feels, a lot of feels, right in the feels. It was a good episode, good first half. Hits you hard with Momo and Momiji. Hits you right hard. Tohru proceeds to tell Momiji about the whole situation with Uo and everything and what's going on. Momiji wants to go with her to sort of protect her. So basically, so if Akito catches her, he can't rip apart her face anymore. Which, Momiji, fair enough. But she says, no, you can't do that because obviously the Zodiacs aren't allowed to talk to Kureno, really. It's, you know, Akito said so. It's his rules. He does whatever he wants. So instead gives her a map. Tohru goes on a stealth mission, basically. She does her hair up and is like, dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, there's a person, you know? Accidentally ends up outside his room. He was about to go talk to him. She's like, hey, Kureno, and then there's like some old woman, and she's like, oh my god, it's a person, and runs away. And that runs away a lot. She ends up, this is a weird, I'm gonna call it weird. This is a weird part. She ends up in some woman's house. And I think this woman, whoever she is, I think she is a character. I don't think she's just some random woman. Because we don't see this woman's face. We do hear her voice. And then Kureno shows up to bail Tohru out, basically. Because the woman's like, who's there? And then Kureno acts like it's him. And then she starts like stroking his face or whatever. So, I think there was that person that Akito mentioned at the place, the beach house. I can't remember what he said, and then he said like that woman, and people said me that wasn't Tohru. So I'm thinking it's this woman here, whoever she is, just because they didn't show her face. If they'd shown her face, I wouldn't be nearly as suspicious. But you know, they made kind of a big deal, and Kureno was like worried. He's like, you shouldn't be here, you know, like Kureno actually, like if she was anyone else, would Kureno have acted so, not rashly, but I mean he was pretty firm in making sure she wasn't near this woman. But yeah, I feel like there's definitely something there. I feel like she may end up being the quote-unquote true villain, even if I still hate Akito a lot. Yeah, Kureno bails her out, so then they go have their talk. Tohru asks about Uo, he's like, do you know her? And he doesn't really answer, but he goes like that, like he didn't answer, but he did, if that makes sense. And he says he doesn't plan to see her again. And I'm like, and then he doesn't give a reason. And it's like, okay, you gotta give me a reason, Kureno, like, come on, like, you can't just do that. You can't make her that sad. Come on. Tohru tries to give him Uo's contact info. Well, not give. She hides it in like a nearby bush, basically. And then it's pretty funny. She holds her arms up to be arrested because they talked about it earlier. It's like, I can turn you into the police. And then he's like, arrest me, please. And he's like, no, just go. It's fine. Momiji shows up because Momiji was worried. I guess he tailed her the whole time, or at least most of the time, and you know, takes her away. So that happens. What else happened after that? Momiji wants to play a song for her, and then she says "Birth of Wishes," which is, I don't know if that's a song. Momiji was playing it later, and it sounded very nice. So if that's what it is, it's a good song. She's got good taste. Is basically what I'm saying. Later, Kyo talks to Tohru on the roof, as they often do. The roof is apparently the best place to have a conversation. So yes, he says, they talk for a little bit, and he says he'll help her if she ends up having a crush on someone. And it's like, oh, Kyo, you're a nice guy. You're too nice, damn it. And it's like, oh, come on, Kyo. Come on, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, Kyo. And then she cries, and then why does she cry though? It's because her wish is impossible, is what she thinks. It's like, oh, you know, the whole Momiji, and then it shows like Momiji and Momo, like, will they ever be friends? Not friends, but, you know, be siblings again. And then we go to Kureno. However, with Kureno, he did pick up the paper with her contact info on it. So, There's hope. Obviously, Tohru doesn't know that, but there's hope. And yeah, then at the end she's like, it might be impossible, but I'll wish anyway. And it's like, damn, that's a really nice thing to end off. And we end off, and then she's like, Kyo, what is your wish? And he's like, for someone to stop crying. And it's like, it's multi-layered here, because it's like both like, hey, stop crying right now, and also, I don't want to ever see you cry again, basically. And it's like, damn, man, I got tears in my eyes again. Damn it, Fruits Basket, what are you doing? Every week. It's at least every other week at this point. It's really good. I really hope we get, like, usually at like super happy endings, I'm like, it's too unrealistic, I don't want it. I really want a super happy ending here. I want everyone to be happy. I want an ending montage of everyone happy, and that would just make my decade. 2020's been pretty crap. Make my whole 2020's decade if everybody got a happy ending. That's how much I want it. That is how much I want it. But yeah, this is the end of this week's episode. It was good, if you couldn't tell. Very feelsy, multiple layers of feels. Curious, how many episodes we got left? What, 8? I think we got 8. Is it 8? 16? We're on 15 or 16. See, I'm not very good at keeping track of things. I think we got. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'll be here for as long as many episodes as we do have. It's exciting. I think I'll wrap this up here. I can't think of too much else to say. I think I said most of the stuff during the actual bit itself, so that's good. Yeah, really, really hopeful that everybody gets what they want. Really, is that too much to ask? But yeah, thank you everybody for watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing and stuff for more reviews. That would help me out a lot. Thank you very much. I will see you next week for another episode of this. Take care, and bye, guys.